What's up? How y'all doing? And welcome to Talking Smack Intellectually. I'm your host, the upsetter, always upsetting the status quo. And I am so proud to announce that we actually launched, or relaunched rather, our talkingsmackintellectually.com website. Make sure you check it out. It's been an amazing week. Yay! I'm really excited about that one. And I have to say, I'm looking forward to ending the week with the talented Cherelle Torch George. I had an opportunity to sit with her in the studio, and I think you're going to like this one too. I think you could like all of the fabulous one on ones we've been doing with this new format. And I promise you, we're going to go back to our panel discussions, the Talking Smack Intellectually panel discussions for sure. And we're also going to do the Talking Smack Intellectually Rewind. And we have some other special music shows that are coming up, and one's going to launch actually tomorrow. Yes, with Tranisha Brown. We have a lot of fabulous extensions of Talking Smack Intellectually, and I hope that you guys can enjoy that. But for those that haven't heard Cherelle's incredible story, she's famously known as Torch in the world of basketball. And she's just not an athlete. She's a beacon of resilience and inspiration from her humble beginnings in the projects of Reading, PA, to lighting up courts as the 16th woman to ever join the Harlem Globetrotters. Torch's journey is nothing short of cinematic, and her spirit, her inspiration, her motivation, her everything was so infectious. And I really, really, really enjoyed this interview. And you're in for a treat. So let's jump in. You're known as the Torch on the court. Can you share how you got that nickname?
So every Globetrotter, we're given our nickname.
Okay.
And for me, when I got Torch, it was like, okay, I'm fired. Um, and it was only fitting that I got that name. And so now I just I go around the world living up to it.
hmm
Being that fire, being that spark when I get in the game, when my name is introduced,
hmm
and and lighten the other torches for the new females that are coming in.
Right.
Sparking their flame while still keeping mine lit.
hmm
And so it's been an incredible journey. I mean, I can't even believe I just finished my seventh season with the team.
Nice.
And so
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. It's been a remarkable journey for
hmm
sure.
And the Harlem Globetrotters have a unique style. Delve into how the team prepares for a game, which has a lot to do with basketball and a lot of performance.
Yeah, so if you've never been to a Globetrotter game, it's like a game you've never seen before because it's a mixture of great basketball and entertainment. Um, obviously all of us are super talented as basketball players, but we're charismatic, we're funny. We have a lot of comedians on the team and people that are naturally funny and entertaining. So you get that on the court. Our showmen kind of run the show, and you just never know what he's going to do. He can
hmm
go up in the stand, grab somebody's popcorn, and you know what I mean, sit on a gentleman's lap and have a good time. And so, yeah, it's a good mixture of just great basketball. And I think that's what people sometimes forget
hmm
that we're great basketball players. We played at the collegiate level, and we've been successful and have accolades and Hall of Famers and McDonald's All Americans. And so the entertainment just comes with just that flair. I say this for myself. I've always been a showboat. I've always been
hmm
a show off ever since I was started playing.
hmm
I can recall since middle school just going on a dribbling display, running out the clock, and like just wanted to always be seen and like wanted to show what I had worked on. If I'm gonna work on this behind closed doors, when I get in the game, these people gonna see what I've been working on.
hmm
So it's no different being a Globetrotter. Behind the scenes practice, you're practicing on your skills, your ball handling ability, and so any opportunity we get to showcase it, of course, we're going to do it loud and proud and put on a great show for the fans.
Right. And something that you also did really big was you set a Guinness World Record, which was not a small
Mhm.
feat. um,
Mhm.
could you walk us through that
Mhm.
preparation? Like your title is for most basketballs under the leg tumble in 1 minute. I think I got that right, right?
Mhm.
So tell us how you prep for
Yeah, most
that.
between the leg tumbles in a minute.
Okay. And tell us how you prep for that.
So that move is kind of special to me because that's a move I had been doing since I was a little girl.
Mhm.
Um, elementary, middle school. Seeing,
Wow.
I grew up watching a lot of street ball. And one was a huge part of my life, and I fell in love with and one, and just that street ball culture
Mhm.
of just in street ball, anything goes, right? There's
Mhm.
no travel. There's no, I mean, fouls are barely called. So when I seen this move growing up in Pennsylvania, Reading, Pennsylvania, I was like, wow, like how did he do that? And
Mhm.
it was something that, like, if I see something and I'm inspired by it, I'm obsessed with it. So it
Mm.
was something I had pretty much mastered since I was a kid. And so, as Globetrotters, we get an opportunity to partake in what's called Guinness World Record Day.
Right.
And so I knew there had never been a female that had a Guinness World Record. Like, I'm surrounded by men who got Guinness World Records, and I'm like, shoot, I want a Guinness World Record, and I know a move that I want to do. I think the
Mhm.
biggest issue was it was a move that the Guinness World Record had never seen.
Mm.
So I'm initially, you know, showing them this move and trying to create my own.
Mhm.
Because it's like there's no lane for this. We've never seen it. You be the first one to do it. So
Right.
you're gonna set the criteria for this move.
Mhm.
And so they came back and said, well, if you can get 30 in 60 seconds, we'll give you the record.
Mm.
And so weeks leading up to Guinness World Record Day, it's my first time even being a part of it. I'm only in my second year with the Globetrotters.
Nice.
And so I show up and I'm thinking I'm going to go last, right? Because all
Mhm.
these other veteran guys, they didn't been a part of it, nothing to them. I get to the gym and they're like, Torture going first. I'm like,
Mhm.
first? What? Like, so the preparation was just weeks before, just doing it, doing it, doing it.
Mhm.
And what's funny is I didn't get 30 in 60 seconds a week leading up to Guinness World Record Day. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to waste these people's time. I can't, I was getting like 28. I was getting 26. So the day of, I just took a deep breath. I went to the bathroom. And when I seen that the lady who was going to be representing the Guinness World Record was a woman,
Mhm.
something about a woman,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm okay.
Right.
I'm okay. And so, and she reassured me. She's like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So I went out there and they like 3, 2, 1, go. And
Mm.
32 rows in 60 seconds. And I'm the Guinness
Nice.
World Record holder and made history for the Globetrotters, first female ever
Love it.
to set a Guinness World Record. And so I'm happy to have two. I have two now. I set
Mhm.
another Guinness World Record, which was historic too, in London. It was the first time any Globetrotter set a non-basketball Guinness World Record outside of the United States,
Wow.
and that was the fastest time to put 5 ping pong balls in a cup.
Look at
And so I did that
you.
with my teammate, who's now a coach,
Mhm.
Scooter. So shout out to Scooter. That was a record that we did together. And so I
Nice.
have two, and I want more for
Mhm.
sure.
Nice. And you're a part of a storied legacy. You're following in the footsteps of icons like Meadowlark Lemon, Curly Neal, Wilt Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to carry on this legacy, especially as a woman who has traditionally been in this male-dominated arena?
Mm-hmm. Well, I got to give respect to Lynette Woodard, who was the first female
Absolutely,
Globetrotter
Lynette. Yes. Hmm.
in 1985, and an amazing person, an amazing basketball player. Like,
Hmm.
she's one of the greatest to ever do it.
Hmm.
And so to be able to follow behind those footsteps,
Absolutely.
the Lynette,
Hmm.
man, it's a huge responsibility, and I think that's why I take what I do um, so seriously and with passion, with grace, because I know the legacy that was
Hmm.
set even before I was even born. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
so, I mean, the Curly Neals and Meadowlarks, I mean, those are big shoes to fill. And so every day I just go out there honored and proud. And my goal every day is to inspire somebody, because I'm a dribbler just like Curly.
Hmm.
So the highest praise for me is somebody who's seen Curly, seeing me, and being like, Curly would be proud. Marcus
Hmm.
Haynes would be proud.
Hmm.
You're really carrying that torch. And so, yeah, it's big shoes to fill, but I think these new generation of players, including myself, we're doing a great job.
Right. An amazing job. Let's travel back in time a little bit. You're 5'3".
Hmm.
I'm 5'11", and I suck at basketball.
Hmm.
I remember when my dad tried to put me on the court and was like, You should play basketball. I absolutely suck at basketball, but you are amazing. And despite
Mhm.
your height and the struggles in junior college, you never gave up on basketball. What was your inspiration
Mhm.
to put a to step on the court, to really take this seriously and to really make something of it?
I think sometimes God chooses things for you. You know, when
Mhm.
my mom put that basketball in my hands that Christmas morning with a Fisher Price hoop, it changed my life.
Mhm.
I just instantly like gravitated to it. I fell in love with it, and I was naturally good at it.
Mhm.
Like it didn't take a lot for me to learn something quick. It didn't take a lot for me to, you know, just be great at it at a young age. And so for me, I have like an obsessive behavior
Mhm.
once I'm inspired by something.
Mhm.
And I knew it was important for me um, because it came so natural. Like, this is it for me. This is what I want to do for a living. And I knew that since I was like 6 years old. Like, I want to see the world. I want to make money doing it. And at the time, there was no WNBA. So
Mhm.
there was no goal of making it to the WNBA or nothing like that at that time, but it was still like, man, this makes me feel free.
Mhm.
This is my therapy. This is what makes me happy. So I'm gonna try to do it as long as I can. Um, and just like
Right.
just like with anything, like it takes, my family, my mom, just seeing that love for the game in my eyes, and you know, allowing me to just travel and see that other girls loved it just as much as me. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, there's a community here, and that just was really struck my passion even more,
Right.
when I was able to travel outside of Reddit and see that there are girls that are just as good as me, So, yeah, I don't know. I just think like it was God given. You know how things are
Nice.
just God given and you're just naturally good at it.
Mhm.
I think singers say the same thing. Like they just have a voice and it was just God given. So it was just the same for me with basketball. It was
Absolutely.
just that passion. It was just my outlet. It was my therapy. Yeah.
Right, right. And you put in the hustle and the work, and we clearly see that.
Yeah, but it never felt like work. That's the crazy thing. Even at a
Mhm.
young age, basketball never felt like work.
Mhm.
It
Right.
never felt like, oh, I gotta train. I looked forward. I couldn't wait to get out of school
Mhm.
to get to my basketball,
Right.
so I could dribble it all over the house and just get better.
Mhm. And I remember my mentor telling me, like, you gotta find that thing that you love the most and hone that craft so that it can make money for you. And then
Hmm.
obviously you found that. Who were some of your
Right,
mentors growing up?
man. My mother is my hero,
Mhm.
my mentor. She just allowed me to be me. Super energetic, had a love for the game, super introverted. And then like Allen Iverson, we talk about a small point guard, 6 foot, but play with so much heart,
Mhm.
so much passion.
For sure.
He was somebody that I looked up to growing up playing basketball because one thing about Allen Iverson, he was always going to be himself. Whether it was the baggy clothes, the cornrows, he was himself
Mhm.
on and off the court. And the passion that he played with, the heart he had, it wasn't about his height, it was about that heart. And so
Mhm.
he was somebody that I try to mimic my game and my style after growing up. And then, of course, like Michael Jordan, I mean, the passion,
Right.
the drive, commitment,
Mhm.
right? And so for me, it was like, man, I want to be like Mike. I know you remember that commercial, right?
Oh,
I want
absolutely.
to be like Mike, right? And
I
so,
think we all
yeah,
wanted to
those
be
those
like
are
Mike.
my heroes.
It didn't matter what we
Right,
did,
right, right. Just that greatness,
Mhm.
that confidence that he exuded was something that I looked up to,
Mhm.
and so yeah, those people really fueled me. It was like, man, like, man, I want to do this for my mom. I'm going to buy her a house one day,
Mhm.
playing basketball, just to
Mhm.
see her so happy, to see me happy was always the motivation. It still is, even through her passing. She's still my motivation. She's
Right.
still like that. Okay, you know,
Nice.
we
Nice.
made it, but we're not done. Like, keep going. I do this for you.
Mhm.
I do it for my last name.
And during the games, the Globetrotter, y'all interact with the audience quite a bit. Do you have one of your favorite interactions with the
Hmm.
fan that sticks with you?
Oh, so many. I think the first time I heard a little girl tell me I was her hero, I
Mm.
probably could have passed out. And it's
Mm.
only because I know what that means for me to call
Right.
my mother my hero, to call Allen Iverson my hero. That means like great impact.
Right.
Like, you're
Mhm.
inspired, your love for this person, your appreciation for them is at a whole nother level. So anytime I get young girls or boys say you're my hero, those are the best interactions.
Mm-hmm.
It always leaves like, man, wow, you know,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
And you've become a beacon of inspiration for young girls and boys who dream of playing
Hmm.
basketball or just achieving something big on the field. And I think that you radiate, and that's what they see, and that's what they feel. And it's important to see that and see success. So you've mentioned that you've received
Hmm.
compliments, right? You've mentioned that. What does it mean for you to be a role model to young people, regardless of whether they're young girl, young boy, whether they're on a basketball, whether they want to be a scientist, whatever? What does it mean to be a role model? Because we hear a lot of celebs and athletes kind of shy away from those two words, role model. But what does it mean to you? It
Hmm.
seems like you actually embrace that.
Yeah, I do. I understand the importance of representation and being a positive role model. There's a lot of negative things on social media. And so every day when I think about when I post content, little girls, little boys, all around the world. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
have fans in South Africa, Nigeria, Japan, and so for me, being a positive role model isn't something that I even think about because that's how I live my daily life. And I know the importance of having positive role models that really truly live by what they post, what they say, how they live, um, and how life changing it can be to be a big sister to somebody or
Mm-hmm.
be. And I'll tell you a story. It's not a day go by that I don't get a DM or email from somebody that said, I thought about giving up, but
Mm.
I seen your videos and I know that you didn't make that on the first try. So your willingness to not give up and create that video took time, dedication, and passion. And just seeing that video, I'm not going to give up on my dream, whether it's to
Right.
be a chef, I was fired from my job, but whatever it be.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would keep me going. And these are grown people,
Mm-hmm.
not just kids. And so being a role model, being somebody that um, lives to inspire other people, is something that I live by because I understand the importance. It can be life changing.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people be suicidal, and just because a video that I posted that didn't take me long, honestly. It's that God given
Right.
talent that talent you got is going to change the world. It's going to leave a positive impact. And I feel like I'm worth knowing.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the positivity that I put out there to the world for the world to see. Yeah.
That story resonates. I think that again, when I hear that people who are of significance shy away from the role model title, it does a disservice because I remember just having someone come up to me and talk about like how I inspire them, and you never know, right? Because you can't really feel
Mhm.
yourself. You don't really feel how magnetic your energy is, right? You don't really feel that. You don't feel what
Mhm.
you give to other people. And sometimes we take that for granted. Sometimes we take what
Mhm.
we do for granted. And so people sometimes can be watching in the cut, and be watching in the cut and looking
Oh
and see,
yeah.
right, like what you do, how you do it, how you carry yourself, how you
Mhm.
speak, things of that nature. And
Mhm.
so I think
Influence is power.
yes, absolutely. So I think that celebs should look
Mhm.
more into being role models because there's a lot of youth that are hurting. There's a lot of youth that don't have guidance at home, and I do think there's
Right.
some of a duty to step in and help community and help the collective because the youth is all we got. We have to pour into them.
Mhm.
So I'm loving that you consistently pour into young people and pour into your fans, and you speak about being an inspiration and a role model, and you don't shy from that. And I salute you for sure for
Mhm.
that. Now, you guys are currently on
Oh,
tour. The
thank you.
Harlem, absolutely, the Harlem Globetrotters are currently on tour. But when you're not on tour,
Mhm.
on your typical, like on a typical day, what are you doing in your off season?
So during my off season, I typically play flag football. I play other sports. I take time to enjoy my family, my nephews, my nieces, vacations,
Mm-hmm.
and working on my personal brand.
Mm-hmm.
I have a clothing line coming out soon, um, and so just working on building my own personal brand. I'm finishing up school. I'm in school,
Mm-hmm.
and just enjoying me. just always trying to get better. I mean, my off season just consists of just relaxation and spending time with the ones I love and playing other sports,
Hmm.
um,
And
and just resting my body.
what's your
You know,
personal your personal
so
brand?
we're
You.
on tour 5 months, and yeah, so with that Guinness World Record, that's a move I learned from the hood,
Hmm.
and I made history with it. So my clothing line is called Hood to History.
Okay.
And so um, what I hope to do with this brand is just to show people that you can make it from the top. I mean, you can make it from the bottom to the top. You can come from the slums and be great.
Hmm.
You can come from the hood and make history. We see
Right.
it all the time, right? LeBron James, Serena Williams, Allen Iverson. I mean, I can go on with hood to hit Dawn Staley, right? They're
Hmm.
all hood to history. They all come from the hood and just took something that was God given and made history with it. So I'm no different. And so with that brand, I just hope it resonates with people and kids that, you can make it from anywhere. And it
Right.
don't have to be sports related. You could be the first one to graduate college
Hmm. I
and
love it.
be from the bottom. You're
Hmm.
hood to history. And so I love my brand. I can't wait to get it out there. And so, yeah, that's what the off season consists of, reaching out, going back to my hometown and doing free clinics. And I do that here in Georgia. I live in Georgia. So pouring into the youth.
Hmm.
That's what I do in my off time. I
Nice.
pour into the youth and just hope that, once I'm gone, it was a life that I could look back and say, man,
Yeah.
what a life.
I was
You
gonna
know what I
ask
mean?
you, right,
You
absolutely. That
poured
was one
into
of
it.
my closing questions about your legacy. How do you want to be remembered, and what do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, that's somebody that just made it and gave back. Realizing that it was always bigger than me. But while I was here, um, I left a lasting impression on people in the world. I changed life. I inspired life. I saved lives. And just because I existed, I made the world better. That's it. Like, I don't think about accolades and this and that and the third. Like, man, just because you were born, you were here. I was here, and I made a difference.
Hmm.
That's it. If I can positively impact one person's life in a positive way, I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know what else, what a human can do that's more impactful than that,
Hmm.
more important than that.
After you finish sports, what is your next big project?
Hmm.
What do you see yourself doing in retirement?
Right. I see myself being a Division 1 basketball coach.
Nice.
I think I love the game way too much to fully step away.
Hmm.
And I got so much more left to give to the game. The next generation of female basketball players that have dreams of playing professional, or just going to college, getting their college paid for. I just think I understand the game so much and have so much more left to give to the game, even though my dribbling days have stopped. I could teach the next dribbler. I could teach the next point guard how to be great. And so once I retire, yeah, I want to get into coaching. I'm going to get into coaching, because that's how much I love the game, and the game has given me so much that I got to pour back into it.
Hmm.
And I'm inspired by coaches like Dawn Staley, the Pat Summit, um, the Gino Oriemas, and coaches like that. So,
And I definitely have no doubt that you will definitely achieve everything that you put your mind to. You pour so much into others, and we notice. And so I wish you nothing but the best. And I thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us here at Talkin Smack Intellectually. We are watching you, and we salute you, and we continue to promote you. And again, thank you so much for all that you do, not just on the court, but off the court as well.
thank you so much. Thank you for having me.